Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabby, that's Charlotte.
And this just in. Today we have the 2023 vehicle pricing and ordering guide for the EV6. So we've been getting tons of questions about this. So if you've ordered a 2022 EV6, there's a very strong possibility that this is what you're going to be looking at getting. So make sure that you do watch this video to the end. That way you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes, so we'll start off with the new news. So we have everything shown over here. We'll have our editing kind of make this bigger so you guys can actually see it.
Thanks, Mark, in advance.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Under new for the 2023 model year, because features and whatnot haven't really changed, we have the long-range all-wheel drive and GT Line Package 1 range updating from 441 kilometers of rated range to 454 kilometers of rated range. The GT Line package, on the other hand, even though it's the same motor, drivetrain, it is now rated at 406 compared to the usual 441. Why is that, Charlotte?
So that's actually a really great question. So if you guys aren't too familiar with how EV mileage is kind of determined, the EPA is what calculates it, and they calculate it based off of the majority of real world drivers. So of course we've had the first generation of our EV6 drivers with the 2022, and interestingly enough, a lot of people when they're driving the vehicle, specifically in the Pack 2, they're driving it in sport mode. So you guys know that when you have sport mode on the vehicle, you're not necessarily getting the best range or necessarily battery efficiency when it comes to driving in this vehicle. So because so many people were choosing to drive it that way, they actually readjusted the range this year, which is something interesting. This has actually happened in the past with previous vehicles like the Stinger.
The Kia Stinger,
yeah. This happened with them. So reached it from showing its full fuel efficiency. So that's a little bit of an interesting note, but depending on how you drive your vehicle, you could still probably be experiencing the 441 range.
And mind you, if you are still an efficient driver, you're not always in sport mode, you will see those previous numbers or even higher. That's just what it's updated as now. Next up, colors. So they actually removed the steel matte gray, which had a paint charge. I believe it was $1,500. Now it's $3,000, but it's only going to be available on the GT, which is going to be the sport version of the EV6, which we still don't have official confirmation of a release date yet. So hopefully that'll be here soon.
Hopefully that'll be coming soon. The information on it.
If they're telling this now, then I would assume we get that very shortly.
We're starting to get official information trickling in.
Yes. So you're going to see a lot of these videos coming up. Also, I'm really sad about this. They deleted the forest green color, and I'm very sad because I thought they were actually going to add it or open it up to the GT line trim levels. So
we had so many people asking us like if they thought that they were going to include it with the 2023s, and we're like, like we really hope so because of how much traction this has kind of gotten, and it's such a nice color too.
It's beautiful. So many people ask for it, and they want it on the higher trim levels, and it's not available, right? So we thought maybe Kia would.
And now it's just gone completely. No. So if you have the green, you really truly did luck out.
Yes.
So we envy you.
Very much. And they also removed Glacier as well too, which, funny story about Glacier, we actually just got one in and we will be doing a video on that this week. So stay tuned for that if you do want to see it, but you won't be able to order it anymore. So womp womp. Then you can see effective date, October 12th. That is today. So we're giving you this information as soon as we get it. Now we're going to trickle into pricing, the trim levels, what comes in what trim. That's generally the same. The pricing is a bit different though. So catch you in a second.
And we're back. We're going to go through trims and pricing right now. So Gabby's going to start us off with the rear wheel drive standard range.
All right, so this is the same entry level vehicle that we had in the previous model for the EV6. Price point wise, it started off last year as $44,995. We're now at $45,995, so about $1,000 difference there. Still qualifies for the federal rebate, so the $5,000 off, as well as same with the other trim levels, because even the higher trims, they're still considered kind of like an add-on package, not necessarily a trim level, so it qualifies. You're good with whatever you get with the EV6. So you start off with your 58 kilowatt hour lithium ion polymer battery. The output is 167 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of rear wheel torque. Next up, we got the battery heating system. You get a bunch of standard safety features. So you get your lane follow assist, your lane keep assist, driver attention warning, and a virtual engine sound system. So a lot of people get that confused with what's in the package 2, which actually lets you change your acceleration sound. You can have a a virtual one and a techie sound.
Very funky.
Yes, this is just with a gasoline vehicle, if you're in a parking lot and there's pedestrians around you, you can hear the engine of a vehicle, right? Bigger trucks, you'll have that beep up noise, you know, the beep, beep, beep. With EVs, there's no real sound, there's no exhaust, there's no noise coming from it. So by law, we do have to have some sort of artificial noise, and that's going to sound almost like a, I can't even mimic it, but if you've driven,
please try.
please try. It's like a whooshing sound. I don't want to do it. I don't want you guys to laugh at me, but you have that. So every single EV in Canada does have to have some sort of artificial noise, and that's where it starts off. So if you guys get confused about that, that's what it is. Airbags, your rear seat alert, all of that good stuff. And then this is going to be your regular GT or EV6 styling. So the GT line trims is where you'll get the GT line styling. Size-wise, though, they are all the same. You'll have a little bit of a bigger frunk in the rear-wheel drive ones just because there's no front motor. Now, Charlotte will go to the rear-wheel drive long range.
Awesome. So in the rear, I always struggle with saying the words rear wheel drive long range. You do get the bigger battery, so it's a 77.4 kilowatt battery. The output on that is 225 for horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, which is super nice. For safety, the only thing that's different is you're building on top of the rear-wheel drive standard range, and you are going to have safe exit assist on this vehicle too. Rear privacy glass, solar glass on the front and on the doors as well. You do get a heated steering wheel, so my Canadians, if you live where it's cold, you know where it's at, heated steering wheel. You're gonna have multi-directional power seats as well.
The heat pump's a big thing.
Heat pump. Did I miss that? I did. Wow, that is a huge thing. And then for technology, we're also going to start to see wireless phone charging, and also trailer package pre-wiring too. So that's nice.
Yes, $53,995 is the new MSRP of that trim. And then I'll also mention it has memory seats for the driver as well too. So I know that people love that. Charlotte is a big fan of memory seats.
The one who loves that.
Charlotte is the only person who loves memory seats in Canada. Next up, we have the all-wheel drive long range model. So that starts at $56,495 now. I would say this is one of our this is our second most popular seller. The GT Pack 2 is definitely number one. Here you'll get the 320 horsepower and the 446 pound-foot of torque, and all-wheel drive. So it doesn't add on any new features. It's simply just going to be all-wheel drive added. And now we'll go to the GT line package 1, which is the same vehicle, essentially.
So it's still going to be all-wheel drive, of course. The way that it's kind of structured when it comes to pricing is it's adding on like a package. This way it's still eligible for the $5,000 federal incentive. So it's going to add $2,500 onto the MSRP of the rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive long range. So it's going to come to $58,995 as your MSRP for that vehicle. And with that, what we're going to get is you are going to get more advanced safety features. So forward collision avoidance assist with junction turning, lane change on and lane change oncoming, lane change side as well. You're going to have blind spot collision avoidance assist, which is one of my favorite features. Highway drive assist too, so actually more of that smart driving that we've done a couple of videos on before, and remote smart park features as well. When it comes to comfort, you're going to get the GT badging. So this is where we start getting into the GT line interior design, and also the exterior. We see a lot more badging on the seats, on the outside of the vehicle, which is nice. You do get mood lighting as well, smart power tailgate, surround view monitor, and blind view monitor as well.
One thing I want to note for the GT Pack 1 now, so in the previous model, it was two-tone synthetic leather, so it had kind of like a white piping on the side. Now it says one tone. So I'm assuming it's going to be all black. That's a change. Not sure how you guys feel about that. And price point, did you touch on?
Yeah,
okay, perfect. And last but not least is the GT line package 2. So what do you add on from there? You get 20-inch wheels as opposed to the 19-inch alloys that were on all the other trim levels. You do get a sunroof, so it's the same sunroof. Interior seems to be the same. It doesn't say if there is white in the interior anymore. It just says leather and then suede in brackets. So whatever that means, hopefully we get some interior photos and see if they're either the same or changed. Cargo screen comes with the vehicle. You get your heated rear seats, and you also get ventilated front seats. Vehicle to load is also in this vehicle as well too. So you'll have an outlet in your back seats, and then you'll also have the vehicle to load adapter when you purchase your vehicle. It is still available for purchase for just any other sort of EV6 trim level, so you can still buy that. Meridian premium audio system, active sound design. So this is where you can actually change the sound that the vehicle emits. You can turn it off completely if you'd like. Mind you, when you are still reversing or driving slowly in a parking lot, you still have that noise going to the outside because that is safety. But this is what you'll hear as a driver, so you can have a virtual sound playing. I wish it was the sound of an engine. That's
Instead
just
of
me
just like the
personally.
random technologically
Yeah, it's
tech sound.
yeah, it's a little eerie to me, but hey, some people love it. It's there. You can turn it off if you want. If you don't want it, there you go. You also have the augmented reality heads-up display, which you can also change to just a regular heads-up display if that's a little bit too much for you. But anyway, you do have a heads-up display there, and that is available to turn off completely. I know some customers, they don't love it, but some customers need it, so it's there. And price point on that is $63,495 as opposed to the original $61,995. That's what's changed. We got our wheels over here as well too, so you can see the 20-inch alloys on the package 2, the 19-inch with black inserts on the package 1, and then the exact same wheels, but it's more of a dark gray on the rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive long range. Now, colors, this is where things get interesting again. So we only have 4 color choices now for the package 1 and 2. Womp womp. We have Yacht Blue, Runway Red Steel, Aurora Black Pearl, and Snow White Pearl. These are all beautiful colors. I just wish there was more. And then every other trim level, so your rear wheel drive and your long range, you get the choice of all 6. So the white, the black, the steel gray, runway red, interstellar gray, which is going to be a charcoal gray, and your yacht blue. And these are all available for $250 except for black. Black has no paint charge.
All right, so the last thing that we're just going to kind of touch on is going to be charging times. Nothing really has changed since the 2022, but I know a lot of EV owners like to know this going in, so this way we can take a look at it too. So we've already talked, of course, about the specs for the electric motor as to what you're getting with each trim line. For the 58 kilowatt battery, your normal kind of charge time is going to be, when you're charging from 120 volts, 51 hours and 5 minutes. Wow, so speedy. Love that.
And then on the long range motors, you'll have 68 hours. So, that's pretty good, I guess. It's definitely not going to be your ideal method of charging unless your driving is what your driving is like. That is the charger that comes with the vehicle, mind you, so you don't have to purchase any sort of charging for home additionally. You have that. Everyone has a 120 volt outlet. Also for your 240 volt, which is definitely more common, that's going to be your level 2 charging. You're at 5 hours and 15 minutes on the standard range or 7 hours and 10 minutes on the long range models. And then when we get to DC fast charging, your level 3 charging, we have 63 minutes on the standard range, 73 minutes on your long range. And then if equipped, if you get lucky and find one of these chargers that are actually working, you get you get 18 minutes on both vehicles, so on the standard range or the long range. Now, you can definitely get your timelines just a little bit above that. The 18 minutes it's hard to find a charger that is working right now. We're hoping it gets better, but you can definitely minimize from the 63 minutes or the 73 minutes just by looking around and seeing what's available around you.
And then down at the bottom, we'll just show it's got the all-electric range. So for the rear-wheel drive, 373.
For the standard range.
Sorry, standard range. That's what I meant. For long-range rear-wheel drive, 499. And then again, we're seeing the differences on the long-range all-wheel drive and GT Line Pack 1, which is going to be 454, and then GT2, 406. So,
and like we mentioned earlier, those are only the rated ranges. So your rear-wheel range will vary depending on how you drive. If you drive like Charlotte, you'll see good range. If you drive like me, sport mode, you'll be closer to the 406. But needless to say, like both of these vehicles, all these trim levels, they can be whatever you make them to be. That's about it for our VPOG video. Hopefully we get some more news soon. Fingers crossed for the full GT. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to be giving tons more Kia videos, EV6 videos, and Hyundai videos.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Bye.